there, guys, it's Mia here. I am so excited, as always. I am so excited about this live today. I wanted to go live today and speak specifically to those of you who you are you're tired. Okay, you're tired of working the way that you've been working, and you want to know that there is another option for you, and there is another option that's available to you to run your own business in a way that gives you back more time and that gets rid of that cap on your income. Before I get started today with the live that I have for you, I'm Mia Redrick, business and life consultant, and I started my company 20 plus years ago. And I, very much like you, I was tired too. And I had made the decision that I wanted to go to work as myself. I wanted to figure out how to leverage my background as a corporate trainer and use my skills and my talents for myself. And one of the things that I came to know was a deep experience for me that cut like a knife. I was working for a Fortune 100 company. I think they were Fortune 10 at that time company, and they did layoffs. And when they did those layoffs, I was one of the lucky ones. And I was one of the ones that, despite many of the people that I had the opportunity to work with, many of them lost their jobs. About 80% of the workforce lost their jobs. And I was one of the ones that got to keep my job. And I can't tell you what that feels like, the amount of guilt that you feel when you're the person surrounded with all these other people who have been given packages. I was also given an option that if I didn't want to, I was offered to stay, but I was offered to also move to a different state to work and to do the same work, but to do it in a different state. And I didn't want to do that. And so I ended up moving on. But I will tell you this, so I learned something very key here, and maybe you've experienced this also. I was great at what I did. And many of the people that I work with that were let go, they were great at what they did too. So being let go by a company that you give your all to, at that time I was working 60, 70 hours a week, and I happily did it because I love what I do. I was a company person. I was super loyal and dedicated and hardworking, and I still am that today. But I learned in those moments that in a second, a policy could change, a group of board members could decide that your position is irrelevant, you are not needed, and in seconds, your entire life can change, your sense of value, your sense of worth. And I've seen that happen over and over again. Now, I wanted to do this live today because so many of the women that I have the pleasure to work with, this is their story. They're brilliant. They're therapists or executives, or they're consultants in their company, or they're professionals at a very high level, and what they are experiencing is an incredible amount of burnout, giving a company all of themselves for many years, and many of these individuals have landed in the exact same place that I just talked about, and they are looking for options or dealing with feeling the impact of their self-worth being crushed, or just being surprised or blindsided because they gave everything and they didn't have anything for themselves. And what I'm going to talk about today is what you can do about that, because sometimes when I have the opportunity to speak with women, it's happened a lot more recently. There are so many women who have been wanting to get their coaching and their consulting businesses launched, but you don't know who to listen to, and you don't know who to follow. You've been following the gurus online, right? The folks, the flashy, the fun, right? The highly visible. And and some of you have made investments with those individuals just to find that what you invested in wasn't what you needed. And I want to break down exactly what that looks like. I mean, to juxtapose it against what I do with my clients, for sure. I've had the opportunity to coach thousands of women over the last 20 years and support my clients in being able to be giants for themselves, to stand in their value, to understand what is great about them, and to understand how to package and leverage their background, their skills, their talent, their expertise into a high value product, online or offline, even if they don't know what that product is. You're the product, by the way. That's the secret. And if you have made investments with some of these pop-up coaches or folks that have just been able to fake the algorithm, but they don't actually have the results, you likely have a taste in your mouth, right, around what coaching and consulting can be. And and you might even, someone just said this to me yesterday, you might even think that, man, if I do another program and it just doesn't work, you keep spending your money, but you're not seeing any fruit because you're not getting any real advice that could really move you forward. I've helped hundreds of women be able to move the needle in their business, and not just move the needle, to change their life. And whether that looked like they were able to transition from the job they had to working full time for themselves, or moving to a different country to work and being able to work for the very first time without trading time for dollars, or whether it looks like that they were able to create their transition plan for themselves, or create extra savings, or buy their vacation home. It runs the gamut. Or whether it means that for the very first time they learned they don't have to sell and trade what they do, their time, for money, $150 an hour. They understood that they can package what they know for $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 or more per client with the right instruction. So the question is, if you have been one of those individuals and you've had that experience, what is my best advice to you? I think the thing that has been missing, and I'm just going to break it down, I always keep it 100% for you guys without being flashy, just being myself, is you've been taught the what in any of the programs that you have joined up in, if you haven't gotten the results, but you likely haven't been taught the how. And the how is the thing that allows you to implement what you're learning. And so what I teach my clients, 4 pillars, like 4 things that if you want to package what you do as a coach or consultant, you must have. Okay, so take your paper and pen out really quickly. Number 1, you have to know how to take your knowledge and your background and your gifts, and how to properly package that knowledge into a system of transformation for others. And one of the things that I'm magnificent at is helping clients to extract for themselves the skill, the talent, the 20 plus years of experience, and for them to get clear for the first time on what the package is, what the core offer is. And I say it this way because so many people think that offering a service is the package, and it just isn't. And it's really where so many people go wrong. So the very first thing that you need is to understand what is your package, what goes in your package. And I think that we have done an amazing job in my company helping people build packages that puts them in a place of a category of 1. Okay, and category of 1 means they do something that's distinct to them, their life experience, and that no one else has done in the exact same way. And I think that's really important. The thing that makes you scarce is the thing that makes you valuable. All right, number 2. The second thing that you need, write this down, is once you have the package, and it's based on what it is that you do exceptionally well, second piece is knowing how to price that. Okay, so the issue I see with professionals is that they're like looking up someone else's price, or they don't understand why their price is high ticket to begin with. It's very hard to be certain and to stand behind your value or stand in your value if you don't know how you calculated the price that you've gotten. And that's the reason why so many people stay low ticket, because that's easy to say. That'll be $1,000, $2,000. Doesn't take a whole lot to say that. But when you are charging 10 grand, 15 grand, $20,000 or more, that is something that you must understand why the price is the price. It's not something you just Google and see what other coaches are doing or consultings are doing online. None of my prices are online, by the way, except my master training, and that's it. And that's a tip for you, okay? Because the way that I value what I do and explain and walk that client through that, they really do understand what they're getting and what they're investing in. And notice I said investing in, not paying. Number 3, the third thing that's very important is knowing how to take that package and that price and how to position yourself as the obvious choice. And I think so many people are really scared about how they position themselves They think I'm new at this business, even though they have 20 plus years of experience, tons of certifications and degrees, and they want to try it. They want to beta test it. But knowing how to position yourself properly allows you from day one to be able to stand in your value and charge what you deserve and have the right clients come to you. And that part to me is everything. Every single day we have people who reach out to me who have heard about the results that I have created, or a client refers someone, or they see me online, or they've seen the testimonial histories of the history of tons of women that I've worked with, hundreds of them, who have endorsed my process, but not just endorse me. Me is nice, but literally what has been the transformation that has occurred as a result of them working with me. And to me, that's the thing that when you likely picked your coaches and your mentors in the past, you picked them because they maybe were playing some great music at an event. It was a feel-good event. You got to do the electric slide. You know what I'm talking about. And, you guys had some streamers in the air and it was like, woohoo. And you felt great and good at that event. But that isn't the reason you came to an event to learn how to package what you know. You came to the event so that you could learn how to leave with a system that could change your life, a system that could change the way you work, a way to be able to monetize completely differently. And to me, it's just such a disservice in the industry when people, sometimes they're great curators of the event experience, but not the results of what they were going to teach you to be able to create the transformation. I'm just breaking it down, and I hope that this really supports you. The fourth thing that I want you to keep in mind equally is that you need to know how to close and sell. So most of the women that I work with are not professional closers. They're not used to selling their systems. They're not used to selling their consulting or their coaching, right? So learning how to be systematic in your process, not someone else's process, meaning you have to sound exactly like the mirrored version of the car salesman. We're not talking about that. But understanding the psychology of selling for what you are offering, and understanding how to position a sales process or a sales call in a way that's strategic and systematic. And it's something that I teach my clients how to do. And many of them go from not knowing how to sell to knowing how to sell at a very high level. And yeah, it's baptism by fire. Yeah, because truthfully, they have to it's sometimes it's hard in the beginning to learn how to do it, but once they make that first big ticket sale, it was worth it, right? And hard is relative. What's hard is selling something for $1,500 that should be, $50,000, and not ever building the skill set to be able to sell that, right? To be able to really truly stand in your value. So you guys hear me on this, okay? And I just want to say, if you want to change all of that, if you're like Mia, I'm hearing you. I understand. That's been my experience. I've been a little gun shy because I was working with these people in the past, and I found for myself that they were all promises, but no one really delivered. I gotcha. I do have a solution for you, and I recommend my master class. It's called the Giant Experience Master Training Online. I don't think you will just like it. I think you will love it. It is composed of a couple of different variables. Instantly when you sign up, you get your training right away, and you can start to learn right away or how to package, price, position, and find buyers the way that I teach. But not only that, you also get to attend a 2-day live event with me where online, where it's a working event, where over the course of those 2 days, I help you build your package and help you figure out what the prices are and create your value stack. I show you how to position and where you should be positioned in marketing, what you do to attract the right buyer, because the ideal buyers come to you. You don't have to come to an ideal buyer. They always come to you. And the fourth piece, I show you how to sell in a way that's like not salesy. And people have left that master training and sold like right away. Some have sold in 24 hours, some have sold in weeks, some have sold 6 figures in just a few weeks, some have sold $25,000 in a week. People are closing that didn't even have an offer when they came. And I say this to you because not all things are the same, guys. Anyone can use words and say, I can help you package your knowledge, okay? But what I encourage you to do, I'm going to post the link here in the chat the for the master training. Let me copy it here. I'm going to post the link here for you. I encourage you to, when you get to the testimonial reel, just look at the reel. And it's 4 hours, one of them. The other one is 2 hours for the master training. Look at the reel and ask yourself, are those the kind of results you're looking to experience? And the next time you're thinking of working with someone, and look and see how many testimonials do they have around the results, not the flash, guys, but around the cash. If what you do creates results, clients are going to be able to say, I closed, I built my product, my premium product, and they're going to share what those results are because they're happy clients. And I love to just show you what it is, and you have to be able to stand in that. Now, here's the last piece. The master training is $24.97, $2,497, best deal in the world. And no, it's not $497 for 3 days, and no, it's not $47, because you're going to learn how to package what you do, and you could leave that event and right away start selling. So you must be an investor in wanting to have the full solution for yourself. Those are the kind of people that I like to work with, people who understand that, all right? And I want to say this to you, that this is for you if you're an action taker. This is not for you if you're the person that you're like a will see person, right? I want to do it, but I want to wait and see. This is not what we're talking about. When we think about changing our life, giants, they show up, they figure it out, they say yes, and they do the work, all right? They're teachable and they're coachable. Those are the people who have had the greatest success working with me, and those are the people I enjoy working with the most. So if that's you, I want you to say yes. And for those of you who are like, I want to do this, but I need a payment plan, I gotcha. All right, you'll see on the page that there's a link that says pay later, and that's PayPal Pay Later. And that gives you the opportunity to be able to break down that 2497 into a convenient payment plan for yourself. So I've covered everything that I came to share with you today, which is the reason why up until now you have been disappointed with some of the coaching you have had around packaging and monetizing your knowledge is because you have been taught the what and not the how. And I assure you that you can't teach the how unless you've done it yourself at a very high level. I've coached thousands of women over the course of the years. I've been signed to Emmy-nominated, nationally syndicated television shows as the mom strategist. I've been able to pitch to corporations, equally Fortune 100, 500 corporations, my business and my brand. I understand the psychology of sharing intellect with others at a very high level, and I love the opportunity to share what I know with you. Now, the room is small, right? So if you want to come to the master training, you need to get your tickets now and not wait until the date. So it's April 17th and 18th is the next available date. And if you're planning to come, you need to grab your seat. And the reason that I do a more intimate circle is so I have the opportunity to answer your questions so you get the results. So I can, support you in really understanding how to package, price, position yourself, and how to market and sell what you do. I have had a ball sharing a mouthful with you. Now I'm about to take this shirt off and go outside in my garden and pull some weeds because it's that time of the year. All right. I'll talk to you soon. I hope you have a great and amazing day. If you have any questions that I didn't answer here about the master training, John Experience Master Training, the link is in the comment section. So all I want you to do is to you can DM me and we'll get right back to you. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye.